So the guy's doing a really good job.
Have an eye in the way.
All right. Thanks for clicking on our faces, everyone. We are here to discuss the finale of Agatha All Along. A lot happened this episode, these 2 episodes. So we're going to just kind of discuss it. Now, because this series has been so mysterious, there's been a lot of questions that were raised along the way. And I feel like we got a good amount of them answered in these final 2 episodes. But before we get started, I just wanted to hear from you guys. What did you think of these last 2 episodes? Do you think that they kind of stuck the landing? I know that's kind of been an issue with Disney Plus Marvel series. Like sometimes that final episode is a little iffy, a little wonky. But what did you guys think of the final 2?
I think there was a. I felt like I had to watch this episode, these last 2 episodes twice, but we wanted to make sure that we came here for the after show right after. But there was a lot of confusion. Like I felt like there was things where I didn't understand what we were going with. So yeah, I was a little lost.
What about you, Vic?
I felt like it's a setup for another show.
Oh, what's it called? Vision Quest, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
And they did say again from at the very beginning of this series, they did say this is going to be like a sequel series to WandaVision, with the 3rd being, of course, Vision Quest. So I'm hoping that that comes along relatively soon. But who knows? Given like all of the CGI and all of the effects that they would have to use just for Vision. But we'll see. But I really enjoyed this episode. These last 2 episodes, I feel like they really stuck the landing. I feel like there was definitely like answered majority of our questions, if not all of the questions. And yeah, but let's get into it. Thank you guys for being here so far. There's 22 of you guys. Drop your questions and thoughts of the show in the chat, and we'll respond to them during the episode. But so let's get into it, right? So we back on the Witch's Road, right? We're back on the Witch's Road, but we are taken to this like morgue looking place, and this is when it's kind of discovered that Agatha was the one that bound Jennifer's magic this whole time. Agatha all along, the true villain of the show. She bound her magic, and Jennifer had to go through this whole process of unbinding her magic from Agatha. I believe she said, "You hold nothing," right? Yeah. Which was, I don't know if you guys watch the old movie called The Labyrinth, right? But this is very much like at the end, Sarah's talking to Jared, talking about, "You hold no power over me," and that's how she kind of breaks the spell and gets out of the labyrinth. Same thing here. But after Jennifer breaks the spell, she gets her powers back, and that kind of gets her off the road. So I love that for her. It was nice to see that at least somebody got their situation together.
It didn't die too, because we lost quite a few people here.
Yeah, we did see in the second half that she does crawl her way out of the road. So she is the sole survivor outside of Teen that makes it out of the road. But when we get to just Agatha and Teen, I keep calling Teen Billy, on the Witch's Road, she's pretty much telling him, "Yeah, give me your powers, right? Give me your powers. They'll get us all out of here." And he doesn't fall for it. Mm-hmm. But it was during this process that they kind of joined hands and said, "Hey, we got to get out of here somehow." So they were able to get Tommy into a body. Like, what did you guys think of that? Like,
I feel like this is a touchback on one of the episodes not that long ago where they had where that red circle that was over Westview and how that hex, and how, like, I guess, who's this again? I'm sorry, I'm so terrible with names here. Yeah, Teen. But was it Billy? How Billy's body transferred to this guy, and now they're trying to do. I thought that was like a callback to it. So yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, and it was interesting. Even in that scene, Billy was questioning. He was like, "Am I killing this kid for Tommy?" Right? So
he did
said no. But do we think Agatha was lying? Like,
I do. I can't trust Agatha. There was a few times where I wanted to. I really wanted to, because there was times where you could see the mother in her kicking in. But then there was times where she didn't mind stepping on your foot. And I just thought she was. So yeah, I do think she was lying. Matter of fact, I thought the kid that was being drowned was Jason Voorhees.
Jason Voorhees.
I thought it was Jason Voorhees because that kid was really getting his ass kicked in the water.
We are celebrating the Halloween season. Let's get into the chat here. Hey, TG, hello. Happy Halloween to you as well.
I don't really have a costume, but
not Sonic.
That's right, baby.
I didn't know we were coming in costume.
Wow. I didn't know y'all was cosplaying tonight.
Ah. It also is kind of cold over here, so it keeps it going.
Tonight, kid. Okay.
But thanks for being here, TG. Drop your comments about the show in the chat, and we'll discuss it during the live. But yeah, so it's kind of up in the air whether or not he's taken this body for Tommy or not. But it was interesting because in the scene, we see the boy in the water. We don't actually see the kid, but we see that there is a child. Voorhees. Yeah, and he did say that if Tommy goes in his body, he'll have nothing, nobody. So it seems that Tommy is going to be put into a body of someone who's maybe in like a broken home or some kind of situation. So who knows how Tommy's going to be growing up.
But you know what's interesting though about this spot here, because there's a lot of things that confuse me, but I'm interested in hearing you guys' thoughts. But there was something, because you mentioned how like, well, if Tommy goes into this body, he dies, right? But didn't Teen, right, before it was Billy, didn't he get into a car crash and everything like that? Like, does the transfer have to be where it goes to a body where something's going on or something tragic is going on? Does that make sense? I'm hoping I'm wording this correctly.
It seems as if it would have to be transferred to an empty vessel, like.
Okay, there we go. That's
because yeah, they did mention something when they were looking for someone to put Tommy in during the episode. Teen said something like he can't find anyone, and Agatha said something like, "Oh, there's 120 deaths a second or something like." So it has to be someone who's passed on in order to like implant.
And that kind of makes sense, because for that spirit to go in, that other spirit has to go. So that do make sense, because she even says something like, "You have to die." I forget what the actual quote was before he got off the road, and she was almost like, you have to die to do that. Yeah,
to implant. But if you're watching, thank you all for being here. There's 44 of you guys in here so far. Drink your drinks and like the video and drop your comments in the chat. Looks like we do have a comment here. Hi, Jacob Thompson, for being here. I just finished watching episode 8 and 9, and I'm so surprised that there is no end credit scene in either episode. What are you guys' thoughts? I was looking for it as well. I was scanning through it. I was like, it has to be something. I thought we were going to get Vision or somebody, but it was literally nothing. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe they were trying to figure out how Agatha was about to perform before they added any kind of like, teasers and stuff in there. But I'm actually surprised we didn't get any like, mid-credit scene or anything.
Before we start the show, I'll pull back the curtain a little bit. This is one of our latest show that we do. Like, we don't usually do it this late. And I said, I will never forgive Kevin Feige for this. And so when we didn't have no end credit, I also said, I will never forgive Kevin Feige for this. Yeah. Because what the hell was that? Like, and I felt like there was enough material. I know we're going to get into the episode 9, but there was a spot where Billy and Agatha will talk about her new look. But I thought there was stuff where you could touch on that, and they didn't.
Yeah. Oh, we got here. TG, thanks for being here. No credit scene for Marvel is a sin, right? I don't know what they were thinking, but it is what it is. But after after Tommy I'm getting these things mixed up. After Teen got Tommy into a body, that was his purpose for being in the road. He got taken off of the road. Agatha was left alone, and she had her little amulet thing again. And we find out earlier, I believe, that the little hair in there was Nicholas's Scratch's hair, her son's hair. Yeah. And she kind of uses a seed, a dandelion seed, to sprout life. And for whatever reason, that gets her off the road. So it's like, I thought originally that her reason for being on the road was power, right?
There was.
But she didn't get that before being taken off the road. So that part is confusing to me. I don't know if anyone has any theories.
My theory is, because it's interesting that you say that, because right, she went on the road for selfish reasons, right?
Yeah.
But maybe there was a hidden thing, like for us, that's what she was doing it for. But deep inside, something that we didn't know, she was doing it for other reasons. Maybe it was something about, I don't know, it was to revive her son, but because it felt that way, like her son was heavily mentioned a lot in this season, whatever word you want to use. So I don't know.
Well,
that was along the way. I need a map.
She did end up getting out of the road. Go ahead, Vic.
I think it had something to do with Rio. Because the thing is that they the deal that they made wasn't necessarily what happened, because Teen was supposed to like give himself up, and at that point he didn't necessarily do that. You know what I mean? He didn't do that. Like, I guess I just started messing with his head. So that whole situation where she was supposed to get her power back, and she was supposed to have it back, he's the one who had to give it to her. It was interesting about that whole thing, because that deal that she had made with Rio, it just didn't pass. You know what I mean? She got out, but it didn't pass. So, the end was what it was, and I was shocked by that, because I really thought that she was just gonna be, this twisted chick. Hey, I got my power back. I don't need none of y'all anymore.
Well, we'll get into it, but we do have a couple comments here. Hey, Mark C, thanks for being here. I hated the episode. The last episode, I don't know. I didn't like it. Really enjoyed the last episode. We'll get into it, but let's see here. The road wasn't real. Where is Mephisto? Where is Nick? Like, they didn't use nothing to show what is next. I'm sorry, bad ending in my opinion. See, okay. That was my question when we got into the second half of, part 2, whatever, the final episode. Because we still don't know who Nicholas's Scratch's father is in universe, right? In the show. And I was like, is it Mephisto? Like, what's going on? And
that's another one. That's another one. Is Agatha bi, or is she gay?
She's clearly bi. She's pregnant, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
and so she definitely, and she even mentioned something in the scene. We're kind of skipping around here. But the scene when she gives birth to Nicholas, little baby Nicky, isn't he so adorable? She said something like, I didn't cast a spell or incantation. I made you from scratch. So it seemed like she made it.
I'm sorry. That was good. I made you from scratch. Nicholas Scratch. Yeah.
The old-fashioned way. That's what that sounded like to me. So...
That's how they used to do it back in the 1600s.
And then plus back in the day when, the whole, Salem witch trials and all of that, the women were accused of going to the woods, stripping naked and fornicating with the devil. So that was a thing that they were being accused of back in the day. So it could be possible, if she's a witch, if she was going in the woods to fornicate with Mephisto, that little baby Nicholas came to be.
I don't know enough about what's his name?
Mephisto.
Thank you. I was glad. Yeah, I think that either with, I don't know, I'm on this fence of like, probably we're never going to get him. But if we do, and we're getting 3 series of this thing, maybe he shows up in Vision. But I honestly,
wait, we never going to get him. That's him right there. I told you.
That is Dan Aykroyd. Stop playing Cedar Superior. That is Dan Aykroyd.
This is the thing that gets me. We still don't know who this man is. I swear to God, this is Mephisto.
That's Dan Aykroyd. I will say that every time you put that picture up. That's everyone in the chat. Please tell Cedar Superior that is Dan Aykroyd, please. Carry on.
Let's get into the chat here. We got TG. Thanks for being here. We need Maury to help them out with the DNA test. Right. I feel like it's Mephisto. Mark C. So now Agatha is a ghost like what? And now she's going to be in Vision Quest because Tommy is going to be in that show. Okay, so then we get to the Force Ghost of Agatha. Like, this was very...
I actually have I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize. But yes, that picture. And it was interesting because I don't know enough about Agatha. The first time I really got familiar with it was because of the series. But shout out to whoever was on Twitter. I hope I thought it was up here. I guess it's not here. But they were saying pretty much that look that you see is yes, right there. It's based off the comic, and I thought that was really because when I saw the white hair, I said, "Why is her hair white?" I was confused.
Yeah, I was wondering that as well. Like, why did they put the white hair there all of a sudden? But
No,
it's a callback.
Yeah, no, it was a call because I was going to say I don't think ghosts can age, so that's why when I saw the white hair, I was confused. But I just thought that was really interesting because I didn't know people were complaining about Agatha not having her comic book look.
Oh yeah, that's just the way of kind of addressing that and writing that. But let us know in the comments what you thought about.
I don't understand about that.
Sure.
What?
Why is she a ghost and nobody else is a ghost?
She sacrificed herself.
Oh, she sacrificed herself, one, and it would seem that she has like some sort of. She mentioned that I wrote it down. When Teen in the last episode, when Teen was trying to banish her, he was sick of her BS, right? And he was like, "Oh well, why won't you leave?" And she said that she can't face him, right? And him being Nicholas, it would seem they were implying heavily that it was Nicholas, her son. So she became a ghost because she doesn't want to face her son for whatever reason. And I don't understand why, because I feel like she did everything in her power to kind of, protect him, right? So, and maybe, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say maybe she felt like she failed at protecting him, and she just don't want to go. Because I do agree when we get to that episode, I was like, yeah, she did. Because they kept saying that she sacrificed him, but this episode proved otherwise, and I never understood why. She never, like everyone keeps saying that, and I'm sure she's heard that all through her many years of living, and why she's never sat here and said that's not true.
I guess because there's more mystery in people not knowing. You can kind of play both sides if people don't know the truth. So maybe she just didn't want to correct them, so she can kind of have that mystique and play into whatever version fits her at the moment, But very interesting. But to bring it back to the first episode 8. Once Agatha gets back into Westview, right? She completes the road. They get back to Westview, and none other than Rio is waiting for her at the door. What's good?
She's amazing.
Yeah, she got on her full gear. She's making everything blow up. She's got Agatha on the ropes, ready to give up.
I honestly, I don't think Def ever really looked that good, but
are you sure? Because she was looking kind of.
Oh yeah, that's the case.
Did I upload it? Did I not upload the picture?
No, even the picture with the half the skull. Yeah, I said, ooh.
I'm doing it for you, huh? Let us know if this is still doing for you in the chat. If you like it.
It's in the eyes. Really.
Oh, she's got the eyes.
It's definitely the eyes, because once you look at the nose, you go, ah! But really the eyes, it's really like I would say, let's go to a bar Def.
Right. But she's got those eyes that are just like, come get it.
Yeah, she definitely has very alluring eyes.
And the thing, and I only learned this from Family Guy, as soon as you touch Def, you die. So I can see my dumb ass going like, oh hey, and then because she's won me by the eyes. Hello, nurse.
Siren's call. But Teen does show up when Agatha's against the ropes. He's got on full Wick gear, looking just like the comics.
I loved it.
Beautiful. Even the mix of his crown, kind of being like the comics, and also like a mix of Wanda's crown, and he's got his hoodie. It was awesome seeing that. And then in this scene, he allows Agatha to take his powers. He said something like, just don't take them all, just don't take it all. Right? And we get this scene, where she's sucking up the powers, right? And I was like, damn, she really just about to suck it all, because he was turning into Skeletor or whatever.
Oh my. Wait, what she? I didn't like how any of this came out.
Oh, you didn't like how it sounds? But let's get into these comments here. We got a couple comments here. Thank you guys for being here. Jacob, Agatha's purpose for being on the road was not to be on the road, but to take the power of the witches within the coven. That did not work to her plan, and so her intentions had to shift. But to if you get to the end of the road, right, it gives the road gives you your what was it, something like your deepest
purpose. Right, your pretty much purpose.
Yeah, so it's like, what was hers? It's still confusing to me. But here we go. TG, the witch trials had about 40,000 killed according to Google. Wow, 40,000, women and men died because of the witch trials. I had no idea.
Jeez.
Thanks for that info. Oh my goodness. Mark C, do you think that this Agatha show will get a season 2?
No.
That's interesting because I thought maybe it would lead into Vision Quest.
Yeah.
But would Vision Quest be the quest to find Tommy and also kind of link into Wiccan or Teen's quest to find Tommy? I don't know. It could possibly get a season 2. Loki got a season 2.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that it's going to lead into, because I feel like this is all related to WandaVision, regardless of what the name is. So I think somehow this is all going to be connected. And that's why it would have been really nice if we've had an end credit. But
here's the thing. I don't think originally there was supposed to be a season 2. And again, shout out to the chat. We got 54 of you guys in here so far. Thank you for being here. Drop your thoughts in the chat.
Yeah,
but being that Agatha has been so financially successful, right, on the small budget that it had, and also being that I saw something that said that Agatha's episode 7 was the second highest viewed Disney Plus show ever.
Oh, good,
right?
Good.
So with all of this acclaim, I feel like they may try to do a season 2 and maybe tie that into Tommy, and then eventually do Vision Quest, maybe film it at the same time so they can release close to the same time and have that tie into Wanda somehow. But that would be interesting. I would be here for a season 2. I don't know about you guys, but I would be here for a season. No season 2.
I don't think so. I think that's just going to be the part of the Vision Quest, to be honest with you, because I don't see a plot. I don't see a reason. I don't see a direction. Like they literally showed Agatha throughout the centuries, and everything that she was doing. She's now a host, and unless they literally have Agatha season 2, the ghost season, I don't see it. I don't see that happening. I think this story pretty much just ended here, and then they're just going to continue to the next thing. Because if anything, the next season should be all about the kids.
Okay, Tommy and Billy. All right, we got a comment here. Seedna, I hope I said that right. Great ending. All right, I love the ending as well. Jacob, love the look. It was giving Agatha's mother's look. Yes, they definitely look very similar. Looks kill, right, for sure. Season 2 is about 3 years, maybe.
Oh God.
Maybe 4.
Let's see.
But you know what? If I can say something real quick, to TG, he said in 3 years, but I promise you that probably will still come out before Blade. But go ahead. Sorry, someone had to say it.
We got Anthony Cortez Vera. Thanks for being here. With Agnes is gone, I hope the neighbors go and feed her rabbit too. Poor thing was left an orphan. It was truly meant to be a demon back in.
Oh shit, yo, we haven't seen that rabbit since early episode.
Yeah, one only hope.
Like episode 1 and 2, right?
So yeah, honestly, I thought that rabbit was going to turn into something. Here we go. I still got the picture right here. I thought this was
that's a beautiful rabbit.
Yeah, poor guy. I hope he's okay. Well, we don't.
Bugs is good.
We don't know what happened to him. Here we go. Joe James, thanks for being here. No season 2 for Agatha. Oh, I would be here for it. Sidna, as much as I would love a season 2, I don't think it would be done for I think it would be done for the wrong reasons. This was a great story by itself. Okay, I can see that. No Mephisto either. I'm telling y'all, watch the replay. We showed who Mephisto was, and
Dan Aykroyd. Yes, you keep saying that. I know.
Last comment before we get back into the show. TG, yeah, is dead in the water at this point. How are they screwing that up? Yeah, well,
no, I don't think he's dead in the water, because that means he would be afloat, and I don't think this thing's floating. He's like beneath the water at this point.
Well, he's drowned like a witch, right?
I do want to say real quick, because I did like that comment where you were talking about the rabbit. I wanted to talk about the neighbors, because as Def was there, and I'll speed this up because I know we run for time, but I thought it was funny when the neighbors saw all that smoke and clouds and everything, and there was just this black neighbor. He said, "Oh nah." He immediately was like, "Not again, bro." Like at this point, I'm moving out of the second time. I'm moving out of Westview or wherever the hell this is. It's Deadview, and I'm dead out of here.
After the hex anyway, high key, I would have been moved out that motherfucker.
Honestly, I'll give it a second chance. I mean, Gotham City. If people could stay in Gotham City where there's sand and a clown killing you, I think you could. Never mind.
I guess, but there's jobs. There's jobs. I don't know if there's any jobs in Westview, but we do get the kiss. We get a kiss from between Rio and Agatha, so they weren't just queer baiting us. They definitely have like their moment. But this is after Agatha almost tricks our boy Teen into sacrificing himself. Rio gave them a choice. Said either you, Agatha, or you, Billy. One of y'all got to die, right? Billy sacrifices himself, or said it will be him, and he was able to get into Agatha's mind, say, "Oh, is this how Nicholas died?" And for whatever reason, that turned her around and gave her the strength, or at least changed her mind to get the kiss of death from Lady Death, aka
What a way to go out.
Yeah, what a way to go! Like, I don't know. I'm still confused as to. Like, okay, she just wanted to save Teen. Like, she felt guilty about Nicholas because she was just about to sacrifice him. So,
I think that she felt guilty about him because he reminds she reminds her of him, of her son, the way that he talks, his mannerisms, and all of that. So he's a young witch. So, like, she probably was just like, you know what. I care about him. And I think another thing is that his whole power with like his telekinesis or whatever you want to call it, to do with a certain level of love and caring. And I don't know if it's whether she's supposed to care about him or he's supposed to care about them. You know? But like the way that he can hear certain people and hear their thoughts, it's because he has a connection with them. So that connection really clearly led her to make that decision because she was very happy having those powers and having, she was ready to go inside and cook up something in the cauldron. But she straight up just gave it up and did exactly what she knew she had to do. You know what I mean? She gave Death exactly what she wanted, one last kiss. And
lucky.
But we do see after the kiss, she falls to her death, and this was very reminiscent of Lilia's death. It looked like from that shot, at least. But we do see that she dies. Wiccan, aka Teen, aka Billy, he goes back to his home, and that's when he discovers that he made the road, right? Everything in the road was kind of taken from the little bits and pieces from his room. And again, very much like the Labyrinth. If you guys like old movies, dark fantasy movies, go watch the Labyrinth. It's got David Bowie. It's a great film, one of my favorites. But the same thing happened in that movie. She created the labyrinth in her mind from things that were inspired in her room. And we see that again in Agatha all along. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. But following this, moment of clarity from Teen, we go straight into the other episode, the final episode, where we see Agatha walking through the woods in 1750. This is way back in the day, right? She gave birth to baby Nicholas, like we said, but we also see that Rio is there as the Green Witch, but also Death. And we see the Green Witch in her dress. And this part made me question, has Rio always been Death? Because she seemed in this scene very unsure about even wanting to go through the process of the death of Nicholas. So I'm like, is she new to the title of Death at this point? Or do you think something else is involved?
I mean, she might be a Death in training, something like that, because they start going back and forth over, I mean, when Agatha's pregnant, they start going back and forth over like certain rules and what she can do and certain levels of leeway and things like that. I mean, who knows? She might have just been Death the whole time, or she might have been Death in training. But she basically gave Agatha a pass.
Yeah, She did say exactly when Agatha said, please let him live. And Rio said, I can only offer time, right?
Exactly.
When Agatha asked how much time, she didn't answer, right?
Yeah.
So we see that Agatha goes through the rest of the years up until like Nicholas gets up to about this age. I'm going to guesstimate that this is about 7 years old. I'm bad with kids' ages. Let us know how old you think Nicholas Scratch is in this in this here image. But here's the thing, right? We see even when Nicholas was a baby, she's going from coven to coven, stealing powers. Like nobody stood a chance, right? And I'm thinking, what was the point of that? Was that to buy more time? Because at one village, when she wasn't able to actually steal the witch's powers, that's the night that we see that Rio came for Nicholas, and his death happened shortly thereafter. So, but I don't know if it didn't seem like that was a deal that they made. There was no like verbal agreement, like, hey, you give me witches' souls and I'll give you more time. So what do you think was the purpose of her stealing?
I think that was an Agatha thing. I think she just got so consumed with taking people's powers and stuff like that she was doing that for her, because there was a few times walk with me here where she would go with her son. The son would do things and then just steal the powers. I don't think that had anything to do with Death. I think Death was just like, hey, you have this amount of time. How much time? And time ran up. That just happened to be.
So she was just stealing powers just to have more power.
I think that's just an Agatha thing. I don't think that had anything to do with Death. I just think she just likes, because even after her son died, she kept doing it.
Yeah, true.
But I do want to say the grave. Did you guys find it interesting that the son's grave was similar to Agatha's grave when she passed from?
Yeah, you know what? I took an image of it, but I didn't upload it. When Agatha died, it was like a very flowery, mushroomy type of grave, and we do see like the flowers over this grave and the same shape. That's very interesting. I didn't make that comparison. But when we do see that she's stealing powers, there was a scene where he questioned it. He was like asking her, why do we have to kill these witches, right? Little baby who was so adorable, such a good little actor here. She said something like, she can cast illusions and control feeble minds, move objects, but she can't divine when she will return. And that's what she was, of course, talking about Death. And I wonder, and let me know what you guys think in the chat. Is this why she's so anti-tarot cards? Because even before in the last episode, we see that, she's like, it's a con, she doesn't believe in telling the future because she herself can't see the future. That isn't her calling. And I thought that was interesting that she said that there. But let's get into the chat, guys. What'd you say?
At the time, she knew that she's never been through the witch's world.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't necessarily exist. And she had no idea. I mean, she bullshitted them on to thinking that she did, but no, there really was no witch's road. So
none at all. But shout out to the chat. We got 60 of you guys in here so far. Thanks for being here. Drop your thoughts in the chat. Let's get into a couple of these comments here. Mark C. Mephisto will show up in Ironheart TV. Really? What's the connection there? Let us know. If there's a connection between Ironheart and Mephisto, that's news to me.
that is news.
Again, full disclosure, I'm not a comic book reader like that. I am a show watcher and a movie watcher. So if there's anything in the comments between Mephisto and Ironheart, please let us know. But Sidna, Blade got the smallest of a life raft with Deadpool. Oh Lord, yeah.
And if Marvel is smart, they'll have him play Blade until he's 90.
Yeah, thanks to Wesley Snipes. All right, TJ, yeah. A True Love's Kiss. I learned that from Disney. Okay, with Rio and Agatha. Let's see here. We got Jacob. Thanks for being here. The interaction of death reminds me of the position Dark One from Once Upon a Time. Oh, I remember that show. I never got into it. But thanks for dropping that. I do remember that show.
Nice.
6 years old. What's 6 years?
You're talking about Nicholas Scratch.
Okay, good, because I'm horrible with kids' ages. But let's see, how did she get the Darkhold? That's still a good question, because it wasn't because she sacrificed her son for it. So that's still unknown. And I'm wondering again, did she have the dark hold before Nikki? Because again, we don't know who the daddy is. The daddy could be Mephisto, right? She could have had the dark hold all that time, which may be why she's still in the power from the witches. Like, I don't know. Hopefully we'll find out in season 2.
Oh Lord.
But Jacob, the Dark One was a position that was passed down from one person to another. Okay, so that's and Once Upon a Time, are you saying that Rio and her title is Death could be passed down? Because to me, I don't know if she was new to the Death title or if she was just hesitant to do it because it's Agatha. All right, Anthony, Agatha using what she learned from the Coven made me hope that they would come back alongside her, or at least have their souls manifest. She even asked Rio for some azaleas, remembering Sharon. Yeah, I honestly thought that we would see everyone who died on the road back in Westview. Like, I thought that was about to be the ending. But we didn't get that. Everyone who died on the road actually died on the road, and we see that because Team memorializes them with this kind of like grave tombstone in Agatha's basement. So yeah, I thought that we would see them as well.
Poem was hard.
All right, Dion, thanks for being here. We got comic accurate number 4 GTX6. Facts with the gray hairs. All right, let's see here. One last comment. Hey, Brian's. No after what? Let us know what you're talking about. But so where were we? We see that
Down in the Witch's Road.
Yeah, Agatha. Son Nikki died, which was so sad. The fact that Rio, stinky booty behind, came and took that boy.
Whoa.
Look at him. She couldn't even face Agatha. Face Agatha and let that boy go in the daytime where she could say goodbye to her son. You had to come in the middle of the night while she's asleep and take her son in the middle of the night. That's shady. That's shady. I don't like her for that.
I mean, honestly, I hear what you're saying. But Agatha should have been up just to make sure that her kid wasn't doing anything. I don't think Rio was in the wrong here. I mean, I was sad about this. It made me, huh?
Captain Save a Hope. Rio was wrong.
I don't know about that.
Let us know if you think Rio was wrong in the comments.
I can tell you right now that lipstick wasn't wrong.
I mean,
spilling that baby in the dead of night.
Does Rio even know what's right? Because number one,
well, her fashion sense, she does.
That she let that boy live for 6 years, knowing
that's very generous.
You know what I mean? And it's not like it was a surprise. She gave it a warning, like, listen, the only thing I can do is get you some time. She gave it 6 years, and then bam. And right at the end, Agatha was just like, "Yo, I need more time. Because she knew what was happening. So, she did it. She did it without being able to say goodbye. I would agree that part right there is probably the bad part. But at the end of the day, like, it's death. Like, it's not. I don't believe that death would have a moral compass, and I feel like death did have a moral compass. You know what I mean? But now I just definitely understand much better, like, what the relationship was between these two in the beginning of this series, because even like back then that was questionable.
I still feel like it was shady, but let's get into some of these comments here. We got Brian. He said she gets it after talking about the dark hold. Okay. We got Dion. I still wanted 15-20 minutes on what happened to Agatha during Salem, the dark hold, and how Rio and Agatha met. Right. I'm very curious as to how they met, right? We kind of like get to them as they've already, I guess, previously had a relationship. So that's very interesting. I'm curious about that as well. Brian, it was through the dark hold that she keep Lady Death at bay. Oh, okay. You think that's why Rio couldn't kill her originally in the beginning of the series? That was never quite answered as well. Why did she call the Salem 7, which is practically a MacGuffin? Like, they didn't do anything really, the Salem 7. I'm so mad that we had all this Salem 7 hype and they literally hardly did anything. Stinky booty. Well, yes, Rio was being a stinky booty. Yes, she was. Mark C. You see in Ironheart, the villain named the Hood gets magical powers from Mephisto. Okay. Sacha Baron Cohen. Oh, yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen. Okay, I know who that is. He's Borat is playing Mephisto. Oh, okay. So if they introduce Mephisto in Ironheart,
I think that's hilarious.
I guess because they filmed forever ago.
I think that's hilarious, actually, because everyone for the longest time has been sitting there saying we're going to get him in WandaVision and Agatha all along, and here he is. He shows up in Ironheart. And I love that the guy who played Borat is in there. I hope he has the mustache as well.
We'll see, but y'all know who the real Mephisto is in the bookshelves. But let's see.
Dan Aykroyd.
Dion, I don't think Rio was wrong. I think that's the point of the show. Death comes for us all. Rio doesn't actually kill people. She just takes people who dies naturally, hence why she's the Green Witch. Okay, yeah. Everyone has a job to do, right? Everyone has a job.
I have to say, that was so well said, because I didn't think about any of that, and the way he's well said, sir.
Very well said. But she could at least woke Agatha up, right? To let her.
Well, Agatha's a heavy sleeper, so you know.
Could have woke her up. Shout out to the chat. There's 63 of you guys in here so far. Thank you for being here, and drop your thoughts on the show below, and we will respond to them during the live. The Salem 7 was a big letdown. 1,000% agree. 1,000,000% agree. They were just there to add a little creepy factor, but they literally did nothing, and I'm so upset. Look at this name, TJF 42193. I was not expecting a literal kiss from death. Yeah, they gave us the kiss. So let's see. TG Sasha would be amazing in the role. Oh, Sasha. Marcy. In the comics, Doom brings Wanda back, so she comes back in Avengers. I would love Wanda to come back. I hate how they did her in Multiverse of Madness.
She's not dead. I kid you not, she's not dead. She's coming back.
And they couldn't even confirm her death in the show. They were like, yeah, no, maybe, you know.
If I could say real quick, someone on Twitter said, I hope that we get, and you'll see Wanda back. Wanda will return or something, or Scarlet Witch. We didn't get any of that. I thought that was actually really disappointing.
Which is funny, because if y'all remember way back when, in the last, I say way back when because it's not that long ago, but still feels forever ago, when Guardian of the Galaxy, the third movie came. At the end of that, we got Star-Lord will return. Here we are years later, no goddamn Star-Lord. They could have gave us, Wanda will return or Agatha or something, like a little something. But let's see here. Anthony, how do you think the neighbors will feel if they visit and see a gravestone with 3 names and a body in the backyard? Any of them staying any longer, or will they just stop talking about Agnes too? I hope that they get out early. I would be the first person to sell so I can get all of my property value as soon as possible. Because if they find out, first of all, the hex is already there. Nobody want to move there because of the hex was there.
Facts.
You got all these random bodies popping up. Like it's going to be, maybe that's why they stayed. Because they can't get, they're in too deep. The house is no longer worth what they paid for it, so they can't leave. That's why they stayed.
That's hilarious.
All right, TJ. Lilia taking out the Salem 7 was epic. I did like that, though. The way she took them out was really cinematic in a way. Brian, I think Billy and Tommy will unite in Vision Quest, and then they will all get together in the next Avengers movie. Okay, possibly.
Well, you know what one of the talks is that they're gonna have like a young Avengers. That's why. What was that? The Marvels. You have Miss Marvel, and she recruits Kate Bishop. So she's probably gonna be Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop.
There we go. Good job.
But speaking of, is Yelena? She's clearly not going to be in the Young Avengers anymore. She's in the Thunderbolts.
The Thunderbolts. Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's more her speed anyway.
I agree.
Mark C. Wanda was in the Comic-Con New York. Wanda was at Comic-Con New York. She's going to be in the new Avengers movie. Who? Elizabeth Olsen? She was there? I thought she hasn't confirmed, whether or not she's coming back as Wanda. Dion, yes, Salem 7 was a letdown. The Salem's flashback was in order. I think Disney Marvel was trying to avoid the Salem time period because of the Rio and Agatha relationship, which is a letdown. You feel like their relationship is a letdown? I honestly felt like they gave us what they didn't give us is how their relationship kind of like came to be.
Started.
Yeah. But I feel like they gave us what the people were looking for. The people were waiting for the kiss. They were waiting for the confirmation kiss, and we got it. And I was satisfied with it. Like, it wasn't leave it kind of like in flux. Like, oh well, were they together? Were they not together? There was denying that they had a relationship.
Do a cheap plug here. I mean, we've been doing all these episodes. Forget what it was, episode 1, 2, whichever one. But you was calling it from the get, like, there's something there, and then they confirmed it in that one episode where she was right behind her and Agatha softly moan.
Yeah. But this is a great question from Milestone News. Thank you for being here. Which episode was your favorite, guys? Which episode was your favorite?
I don't think I have a favorite, honestly. I didn't have a problem watching it, but I don't have a favorite.
I'm very much I have a short-term memory. So for me, my favorite is going to be the last two I've seen.
Love it.
I'm going to say maybe my favorite was episode 8, the one right before the final episode. I thought that one was, but hold on, when did that one cut off? But I don't know. I really like seeing Agatha with her son, though. I love seeing that she was.
One? So episode 9.
Yeah, episode 9. I love that we got to see that she was really trying her hardest to be a good mom. Like, she loved being a mom.
Yeah.
And I love that for her. So I don't know. It's between episode 9 and maybe episode 8 and 7.
Nah.
What do you got? What's your favorite episode?
I personally think 9 was the best, but then at the same time, we got to see the Agatha from WandaVision, because Agatha was just trying to steal Wanda's power. You know what I mean? So we got to see a lot of that and what she's been doing. So it kind of like hit the title right in the head. Agatha all along, you know what I mean? All along, she's just been this power stealing witch.
Yeah.
And I got a feeling that that might continue. I mean, like, I don't know what Ghost Agatha can do outside of just talk, but like, I don't know. We'll see, because she.
I was going to just throw out there, because you mentioned that part. I thought it was interesting because it looked like she's starting to get familiar with her ghost powers. So she kept going through him, like, because she can do that. And she was able to knock down whatever that thing is out of his hand.
Exactly. So I got a feeling that there's going to be a certain level of abilities that she has when it comes to the next show.
She did say she's a quick study. So again, I'm hoping for a season 2 of Agatha. I feel like there's more story there to tell. I would love to see Tommy. But of course, I would definitely love to see Vision again. So I hope that we do Vision too.
Can you highlight Brian Games next? Let's help him out here, because I thought the same thing here. Which he asks is question number 1: why does she appear old? She died looking young. I think I just think they wanted to go for the accurate look, and I don't know why they waited for her to be a ghost. I'm not sure, or maybe she has the ability to maintain this certain like this, I don't want to say youthful, like this youthful look, and then when she lost her ability when she died. I don't know. I can't.
She did say earlier in the episode that one of her powers was illusions. Maybe that youthful brown hair was an illusion the whole time. She's been gray all along. Agatha's been gray.
Okay, you're really shooting for that funniest host thing very much here.
Agatha's been gray all along, and
gray all along.
No, the entire road was an illusion.
Yeah, created by Billy. But let's get into these comments again before we end the episode. Let's start here with Mark C. In the comics, who created the Salem 7 was Nick. His staff was made from Mephisto. She hated her for leaving him, and Agatha went work being a nanny for the Fantastic Four. Definitely in the comics, he was definitely her son, and there was that whole connection with the Fantastic Four. Maybe there would be a tie-in there with the movie coming out, possibly. Maybe that's where we'll see them again. I don't know. I don't know how they get
Mephisto and the new Fantastic Four movie at this point.
Let us know if you think we'll see a Agatha Ghost cameo in Fantastic Four when it comes out. That'll be interesting.
I would love all of that. I wanted to touch because you were talking about season 2, and I remember Vic, you said something earlier about the possibility, like what can you do in the season 2? I feel like because all you guys are asking some really good questions here, that if you did a season 2, you could fill in those blanks, like the stuff about what the relationship. I think that what we had 9 episodes, right? I think with that time to try to make this as digestible as possible. So if you have a season 2, you can do those flashbacks. I actually kind of like the flashbacks when they do that because they do fill in blanks, because I think there are still a lot of things that is still not answered.
We do get this flashback for Billy. Are you talking about when? What do you mean the flashback for Billy? In the that was your favorite episode when they did the flashback for Billy and we got all of those kind of blanks filled in. Is that what you're talking about? Let's see. Let's get into another comment here. Dion, episode 9. I love the Nicholas and Agatha backstory. Yes. Okay. We're here. I'm right here with you. I love seeing her be a mom there. And we got the Agatha ghost. Mark C. Remember WandaVision got so popular because it happened when COVID hit. Yes. But another thing that WandaVision, there were a couple things that Agatha all along didn't address. Same thing with WandaVision. Agatha all along didn't properly address to me, again, why is she still going around stealing these coven powers? Like, what's up with that? I'm still unsure about that, or it's really unclear. And also in WandaVision, there was this beekeeper thing. There was the beekeeper in WandaVision that we never got. It's like, who the hell is that? Is that supposed to be Mephisto? Like, why was that never addressed? So hopefully it gets addressed in Vision Quest. We'll find out. But Brian, question, we answered that. DC Swamp Thing 2019 is better than Agatha. Really? I swear, isn't that on the CW? I swear you can watch that on the CW app. If you're,
I know I'm going to watch it right after we do the show because I do want to get 8 hours of sleep. So I'll give it a shot. Back
in the day when I didn't have like hardly any streaming services, I would watch just random stuff on CW. And I remember seeing like something about the Swamp Thing, and I watched a couple episodes, and I was not impressed. So, but apparently, as a fan in here, like a Spice, thank you for being here.
Like a Spice, that's a heck of a name. Good stuff.
Benjamin Button Curse. Okay, wow, she got the gray hair. Anthony, do you think all witches will keep flying away from Westview and into the horizon? Jennifer flew away just like Wanda in the end. Even Vision just took off. What's up with that? They're trying to get the hell out of there. It's cursed, that place. Nobody wants to be there. The people who are there staying there because they can't get their money back from selling homes. Nobody wants to be there. Brian, FF is the place in an placed in an alternate universe. Okay, so you don't feel like we'll get a little Agatha ghost in Fantastic Four?
I mean, or maybe there's another Agatha.
Is it taken in the alternate universe? I thought it was just taken in the 1960s.
No, maybe there's another Agatha the way there was another Doctor Strange.
Oh, a variant. Possibly. It's so weird because there's so many different like power origins we have here. We have like the scientific with Vision. We have the magical with Agatha and Wanda. We have like I don't even like mutant-esque origins with now X-Men. So it's very difficult to tie these all together. I don't know how Marvel's going to do it, but we'll see what happens. I can see a cameo in Fantastic Four movie. All right, let's see here. Let's get into a couple more comments before we end the show here.
Sure.
And if most witches can fly, how come Lilia didn't fly in the tower?
Good question.
I'm not sure, but Lilia, her power didn't seem to be her power didn't seem to manifest in that way. She was strictly just a divination and vision, stuff like that. So I don't feel as if she has the ability to like create those, sparks of power the way the other witches did. Brian, there will be no second season. The next is Vision Quest, and Jack is doing that one too.
Is that me?
Yeah, not this Jack.
Oh, okay.
Jack, who's the Jack you talking about?
I didn't know I was a part of the show. Thanks for giving me the scoop.
Let's see. The beekeeper was addressed. He was a member of the Sword. When is this? The beekeeper. Cite your sources, Brian, because I swear to God, they never.
It might be time to rewatch some of these things because I think there's a lot of things when you have a second watch, you're able to really pick it up.
Yeah, because I swear to God, they never addressed the beekeeper. I can't believe that CW is still going.
That is so. TG is so mean.
If you still watch the CW like we do discuss Superman and Lois every Monday. We do it every Monday after
Tuesday.
Oh, sorry, every Tuesday. Excuse me. New episodes of Superman and Lois come out on Mondays. We discuss it Tuesdays at 7. So join us. And if you
7-ish, actually. 7-ish.
Yeah, 7-ish. 7-ish. But if you do watch CW still, join us on Tuesdays around 7, and we talk about Superman and Lois.
I badmouth Lois.
Yeah, right. So they show the next Daredevil series. 18 episodes are coming, and the skeleton crew for Star Wars is next. Ooh, okay. I'm very excited for Daredevil.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's probably the one I'm most excited for coming out on Disney Plus.
Right.
1950s alternative. Oh, in Fantastic Four.
I thought it was the 60s because they came out in the 60s, so I thought it was 1960s. I remember reading something and they said the 60s.
Let's see here, Mr. Saxophone. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I think the finale was pretty solid. I think the last episode was epilogue. I think Agatha needs to mentor Billy to help him find Tommy. To them together find Wanda. This is Agatha's redemption. I honestly hope that Vision is the one that finds Wanda. I love their relationship. I love their connection. And I would love for it to be him and keep the story of the brothers looking for each other. I think that's kind of like, Frozen, kind of like, brotherhood, sisterhood kind of thing. But I really want to see Wanda in Vision Quest for sure. Let's see, did we get to this comment here, Dion? I think after Agatha was on trial from WandaVision and she killed the witches, no witches wanted to be bothered with her, so Agatha been on the run just sucking powers to live. Oh, that would be the reason why she's doing that. And how she created the whole Witches Road thing, we see that was created really by her son. He's the one who sung it first. So yeah, very interesting. Remember, Marvel ending was Fantastic Four. What were you saying, Vic?
No, I was just agreeing that it was interesting.
Brian, when the SWORD agent went through the tunnel, he became a beekeeper to fit her reality. I'll have to rewatch it. But do I remember that? I don't know if I remember that. But if that's the case,
that's the shit. Like yeah,
it came out like 2020, 2021.
Facts.
I need Agatha to show up in Fantastic Four just for a quick cameo. I hope so. At least someone mention her, like even a name. That would be kind of cool. TG, excuse me. I remember watching SmackDown on the CW back in the day. Dion, Brian, again, I think they meant what happened to him after Wanda said no. So thanks you guys for being here. Please like the video if you like the video and subscribe to our channels, See the Superior and Unpopular Review Entertainment. Again, we talk about a lot of shows. Again, if you're watching Superman and Lois, you can join us on Tuesday nights. We plan on discussing Daredevil when that comes out. And of course, the one we're talking about next potentially is going to be Arcane. So if you enjoy Arcane on Netflix, join us then on November 9th. And also we plan on discussing season 2 of y'all know what I'm talking about, the game. Huh?
Squid Game?
Squid Games, can barely hear you, but yes, Squid Games. We'll be talking about season 2 of Squid Games. We talked about it years ago when it first came out. So if you check out Unpopular Reviews channel, you'll see like the backlog of that. But yeah, join us for Squid Games when that comes out. Join us for Arcane when that comes out. Join us for Superman and Lois on Tuesday nights. And thank you guys for being here. And again, like and subscribe, and we will talk to you guys later. We appreciate you, and good night. Bye.